What is it to be an actor? Okay. Um, well, obviously, it's not a one size fits all answer, but to me, it's basically having the courage to express your individual interpretation of whether it's a scene in the field of expression of acting, whether it's painting, whether it's sports. But basically, for me, it's just having the courage to surrender to the interpretation that I'm feeling, going in there and fully executing that with truth.
Now that I'm coaching, helping actors, acting is to me, it's not a one size fits all. So the student, they basically tell me how to coach them. And at the end of the day, it's about the student giving birth to their way of auditioning. So you have, let's say in my case, maybe 15, 20 students studying Meisner. So it's kind of like you give those 15, 20 students milk and cheese, and maybe 12 of them are lactose intolerant and the other 8 are okay. So what happens with the other 12? You start going in your head and you start thinking, well, I'm not getting it. Maybe this is not for me, but I'm kind of confused because I feel in my heart like I do want to be an actor, but at the same time, I keep getting railed by the teacher, and each week I'm coming in here, I'm trying, giving my best effort, but it doesn't seem to be sinking in because acting is not a one size fits all. And then it also happened with maybe any other, for lack of a better word, system or method, whether it's Stella Adler or the Lee Strasberg Institute or anything else. So at the end of the day, you have to. That's why I love working with people one-on-one in private, because one of the things that I ask my students when we first start working is, I need to know who are your 5 favorite actors, who are your 5 favorite actresses, who are your 5 favorite singers, and what are your 5 favorite sports, whether you would participate in them or at least watch them. So that starts to give me an idea of a language of me how to speak to them. It should get to the point where it is a spiritual thing. It's just a feeling. It's like when you're kids, let's play Zorro and the Lone Ranger or whatever it is, and you're just feeling it, just going with it. It's not a heady thing. If you're gonna make it a heady thing, you should maybe go make your living doing the talk circuit and going to these colleges and getting up on stage and all that mental masturbation and stuff. But this is it's a feeling thing. It's a feeling thing. Just like sports again. Dude, you know if you're gonna win the fight before you step in the ring. You know if you could beat the guy way before you step in the ring. And like I tell my students, the most important section leading up to a fight, in my opinion, is the walk from the locker room to the ring. If your mindset is not where it should be, those 3 or 6 months of training just went out the window. So I took that same thing and you just transferred it to the audition. The most important section out of the whole process is when casting director goes outside and she calls your name and you're being escorted into the room. If your mindset is not where it's supposed to be, dude, you could have hired Denzel last night to coach you for 5 hours. It just went out the window. And that's really what it comes down to, I started to define my personal success and little baby steps. So basically what my personal success is for me not to punk out, for me to not start avoiding eye contact, basically not to run away from them, to stand my ground, to be comfortable in the pocket, to use boxing terminology. And it took me a minute, because what it was for me was, now I know why I'm feeling a little emotional. What it was for me is because I had a very verbally abusive stepfather. So when I would go in there, I'd see him. And I couldn't, as a kid, I couldn't stand up to him. So I felt like I needed to run, I needed to avoid, I needed to, and I needed to come to terms with that. So finally when I did, then that combined with working with my casting director privately, everything started to change. So then I said, okay, the times when I was able to have some decent nights at the boxing gym and martial arts and stuff. What was it that I was really connected to? So then I just transferred that. So then I just, which I still do, I just activate that same mindset. You know, not to sound arrogant or anything, but it's what works for me. The moment I walk in past the door into the room, it's like you're going through the ropes. Yeah. And in my mind, pound for pound, I'm the best. And there's no guy out in the hallway who could, pound for pound, I'm not talking about, well, he has more credits, or he's taller, or he's bigger, or he's younger or older. No, I'm talking about pound for pound. He can't read the same better than me. So I walk in there, and the reader is my opponent. And in my mind, I'm here to fuck you up with these lines. And that's how I do it.